if I remember correctly as well, as Marco Reus was shaping up to take a penalty in that game, one of the Mainz players mischievously whispered to him, well, I don't think it was much of a whisper, but more shouted at him, he's going to miss. And Marco Reus did miss that penalty. Now we fast forward a couple of months, and Marco Reus is back in form. It's Marco Reus Revival, which also sounds like the name of probably Stevie's new band. I don't know. But all the same, he's been in stunning form in recent weeks, coupled with his performance in the Cup final, leading Borussia Dortmund to their 5th DFB Cup. And whilst Mainz have done very well to trip up lots of other big teams recently on a 10-game unbeaten run, including that scalp of Bayern Munich, which I saw a few weeks ago, where they were excellent. They're very good on the counter, doing exactly what Dortmund did to Leipzig in the DFB Cup final. I think that the momentum that Borussia Dortmund have right now, the way that their front players are playing, Erling Haaland, Jadon Sancho, Marco Reus, Mo Dahoud with his balls in behind, Emre Can, the energy that he was giving last night as well. I think you have to make Dortmund the favourites for this one.
Archie, what about their manager, Edin Terzic? He now has a German Cup. He may end up getting them into the top 4, and yet he's going to be Marco Reus's assistant next year. That doesn't sound fair.
No, it's somehow very Borussia Dortmund that they've somehow managed to lose out of winning in this sense, that after appointing Marco Rose for next season, which looked like a smooth move, particularly when Edin Terzic was struggling back in January. I remember speaking to him after 2 crushing defeats for us on ESPN FC against Leverkusen and Gladbach. And it looked like he was trying to execute far too much change too rapidly. But since then, the run that they have gone on, he was talking about the Sevilla game in the Champions League being a real turning point for his tenure. And they've really gelled together. It does feel weird to think of him going back to being an assistant coach if he's not a head coach at Borussia Dortmund in years to come at some point. A friend of mine has joked that he'll be in the job by December, given the way things might go for Marco Rose. Then I think that he will certainly be in a big coaching job in Germany. If not, why not in England? His English is more than good enough. He's worked there before as an assistant manager to Slaven Bilic. So he is incredible talent, but also very pleasant. It's not the right word. He's a lovely human being. And in his interview with me last night, he was talking about how difficult it had been for him. He wasn't sure whether 6 months ago his dad was going to be alive still right now. So he was so emotional last night. And first time in a post-match interview, Sebi, that I've had tears coming to my eyes listening to him talk. So this victory meant a lot to him on a lot of levels.
Did you cry under your shirt? Is that why you had to wear what you're wearing now?
Very good, very good. How long did it take you to come up with that one?
Just a little bit. Dortmund play on Sunday. Another huge game on Sunday. Leipzig and Wolfsburg. Let's start with the Leipzig angle on this. Like, what state are they in coming into this game? Julian Nagelsmann, lots of criticism after the German Cup final. Dayot Upamecano, lots of criticism after the German Cup final. Leipzig really seemed to be limping across the line.
I think you put it perfectly. Ragged is the way that they approach this game. In their big games this season, I count 11 of them against PSG, Bayern, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Borussia Dortmund. In those 11 games, they've won only 2 of them, and they've conceded 27 goals. Now, for Julian Nagelsmann, who has a fantastic and burgeoning reputation, and somebody who I think is going to be one of the great coaches in the game, it is still quite worrying, I would say, that record and the performances in these big games. I think that he hasn't necessarily had the resources to be as gung-ho as he has approached these games, and he's taken big risks which haven't paid off. Namely, last night he plays Dayot Upamecano, who has been in wretched form recently, and he bounces off Erling Haaland like a trampoline. And usually we're used to seeing other players bounce off Dayot Upamecano. So that was a real shift in the narrative. The fact that Upamecano's off to Bayern with him as well adds something else to it. And when he played Yi Huan and Alexander Zorlot up front, that was not expected. Julian Nagelsmann says there were reasons with that for injuries and whatnot, but tactically, he got done by Edin Terzic. So he is going to be judged at Bayern on his performances in the big games. In the Champions League, that's what it's going to come down to. Julian Nagelsmann knows himself that there is work to be done in that sense, but that's not how he'll view it. He views, I think, most things in a very tactical fashion, but I'm sure that he will be looking at things at the end of the season, working out what he could have done better.
All right, you keep mentioning Bayern Munich. Of course, they're going to win the Bundesliga, no doubt there. The only drama left in the season for Bayern is, will Robert Lewandowski break Gerd Muller's record for most goals in a Bundesliga season? Archie, going to do it?
Yes. In fact, when I was speaking to Freiburg and some members of the hierarchy there last week, I said that we were coming down to the Freiburg Bayern game because of the Robert Lewandowski record. And they said to me, and they said, well, why are you coming down, though? He's not going to break it this weekend. He's breaking it next weekend. So Freiburg are cheekily confident of keeping Robert Lewandowski out. I'm not sure how confident they should be, given the way that he was playing last weekend against Borussia Mönchengladbach with that hat trick. I've also seen Robert Lewandowski do amazing things in this fixture away at Freiburg. I remember a game 7, which was a couple of Januaries ago. It was -12. I had to put on a third pair of socks in the first half. It was freezing. And yet Robert Lewandowski came out with this outrageous piece of skill to win a game for Bayern that they had no right to be winning in injury time in the second half. And it's precisely that quality that Robert Lewandowski has, which for me makes it inevitable he's going to break this Gerd Muller record.
Archie, one more thing on Bayern Munich. Hansi Flick in the last couple days has been linked not just to Barcelona, but to Juventus as well. What happened? I thought he was taking the German national team job after Euros.
I think he is. I don't see any movement apart from that to Juventus or Barcelona. That would be very surprising. The most important thing, I think, for any German coach taking that job now is the fact that on the horizon, you have the European Championships in Germany in 2024. That is a very appealing factor in taking the national team job. Also, Hansi Flick knows the hierarchy there very well. And I think part of the reason why he's quitting Bayern is because he's unhappy with the friction that there has been with sporting director Hasan Salihamidzic. Why would he risk going into dangerous structures like Barcelona right now? I don't think you could phrase Juventus like that, but if we're looking at the way that Barcelona's run, are you telling me that it's going to be better than his experience at Bayern? And Bayern is, in comparison, a paradise on earth, even if it may have its Hollywood moments. So I still very much expect Hansi Flick, who has said that he's had good talks with the team manager, as they call it here, Oliver Bierhoff, to be taking this German national team job after Joachim Löw leaves.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.